Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NX Show here on twitch.tv/the NX Show and codenamenx.com. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
I am the Black Ewok Gaming Podcast. Hello, everybody.
Oh, okay then. Thanks for filling in for me last week, Ed.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to.
He's thanking me like I didn't expect him to do it when I was gone. Anyways, also joining us is the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
Season 3, Stranger Things in the bag. How's it going, everyone?
Okay. All right. Also, the streamer's champion, Ray Apollo.
I mean, not to be outdone, I'm Black Superman.
Wow.
Hobbs and Shaw, see you in the theater soon. Sorry, not that, by the way.
Man, is everybody seeing Hobbs and Shaw?
No.
Everybody likes a little Fast and Furious in their life.
What is it, though? I need to see it.
When is it coming out?
Soon.
Very soon. You know what? No, pretty soon, The Rock's just going to post the whole movie in 90-second increments on his Instagram anyway. So.
Oh. And we
Pretty
would watch
much.
it too, and I would watch it.
I know. Every day, just 90 seconds of the movie. Here it is.
Here it is. Oh, God. And I would definitely be like, man, that movie was great. 3 years later.
Oh,
Right.
3 years later. I mean, that'd probably be when I got to actually watching it anyway, so.
Dang.
Fair enough, actually. We still haven't seen Waterworld here. LOL.
Lol. It's fair. To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of movies, so.
That's okay. I'm with you. Team watch like 2 movies every 10 years. That's us.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
You're ashamed.
You're wow.
What a shame.
Reverse. No, you.
I watch a lot of movies, or I try to.
Ed has
Animated and
Ed has a lot of free time and never sleeps, so.
Sleep is important to me as a human being.
plus I'm single and don't have no kids, so that says a lot.
I mean, that
I
also
usually
adds
watch
a whole
documentaries.
Yeah. The amount of time Ed spends not having free time is probably the amount of free time that I have, so.
I heard Jesse say he watches a lot of documentaries. That's why you're the
Yeah.
one Wisconsin. I understand now. I get it. Makes sense.
Yep.
I haven't seen any good ones lately. It's been a while.
Spoilers, there's no good documentaries.
Although last night we watched
There's a lot
Chef,
of good ones.
the John Favreau's Favreau. I don't know how to say his last name.
Favreau?
Yeah, there you go. You did it.
Hooray!
We watched Chef last night. Actually spoke to my soul. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. It is a solid movie. And if you love food,
I
it's
love
got
food.
some real good food. It's got some real good food in that movie.
I love food.
Nice.
I ate a lot of good food on Thursday, by the way.
Oh yeah, what'd you have on Thursday?
Let's see. We had some barbecue chicken sandwiches. We had some stromboli. We had some.
Hold up, back up the truck in reverse. What's a stromboli?
What's a stromboli? It's like a. Imagine like a big, huge piece of like garlic bread, right?
Yes, perfect already.
You cut. You fill the middle of this garlic bread with cheese, pepperoni, salami, and herbs and spices, and then you dip it in your choice of ranch or marinara sauce, and it's like a pizza.
Oh, that sounds.
It's like a
great,
rolled up
actually.
pizza.
Yeah, let me get one of those. I like that. Hey, wife, can we have stromboli? Well, neither did I. Okay.
Yep. Ray's having stromboli tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it was really good, by the way. I had like 3 pieces of it. Awesome.
That sounds good.
Nice.
Those
Awesome.
sound good.
I could have eaten the whole thing, but I didn't. I had to save some. for the
All
rest
in
of the party.
moderation. All in moderation.
No, the only reason why I didn't have more is because I was trying to save some for other people.
Oh, so you just being a nice young man.
Yes,
see.
I was.
You would ate the whole plate.
Welcome to NX Foodcast.
Love the show.
Yeah.
Love the show. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do a pie cast. NX pie cast. No.
No.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Anyways, let's get into this housekeeping. We're gonna talk about video games now. Welcome to the NX Show, your source of video games, news, analysis, and other shenanigans. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/the NX Show or codenamnx.com/live every Saturday, sometime around 1 p.m.-ish Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, somewhere in there. Pre-show followed by a podcast. If you can't join us live, no big deal. You can head over to codenamnx.com, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or your podcast service of choice on Tuesday mornings for a fully edited show to consume. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The NX Show, and like the NX Project's Facebook page. You can also join our Facebook group, which is now not secret. It is now just closed. So all you have to do is ask to be invited and answer those weird questions that they make you answer, and you can stroll right on in and start talking games. So if you have any questions, you can tweet at us, look for our question thread in the Facebook community, or email us at contact@codenamnx.com. We will be taking live questions on the Twitch chat as well, so if you join us live, you can type a question in there. We will try to read it during the show. Also, remember, you can find all of our content on codenamnx.com, including our videos, old content, reviews, blogs, live streams, and more, once we finally get rolling on all that stuff. So we got a little bit of a different show this week. Last week, obviously I wasn't on, so Ed, thanks for hosting the show, and you guys holding it down while I was gone. But we had some really interesting feedback the last couple weeks from our old shows community, and I figure we would have that a little discussion on like why the NX Show is existing and why you should stick around, because this is something that we want to build and make something really cool for you guys to listen to in the future. We're going to talk about what we've been playing, and then we have a large backlog of questions that we're going to try to get to, so we're going to get to those. And then we have a giveaway winner for Super Mario Maker 2, so we will get to that as well.
Yes.
Actually, we're going to start with the giveaway winner just to get it out of the way. We want to thank everybody who entered. We had 76 entries to this contest. So, Ray, you have a weird face on your face.
Yeah, I was disturbed by something I saw on the internet, of course.
Oh, wow.
Surprise, the internet disturbed somebody.
It caught me off guard. It really caught me off guard. I was not ready. I was not prepared. Sorry.
Surprise, everybody. The internet made somebody uncomfortable.
Oh, God. Why?
Because it's the internet.
Oh, jeez.
You aren't watching Two Girls, One Cup, were you?
Oh, good Lord. No, I've never seen that. Never will.
I know. I haven't seen any of those things that people bring up.
No,
that
dude.
are, like,
I remember the first time somebody
disgusting,
showed me that, and I thought I was going to throw up on the spot.
No,
Yeah.
I've avoided that like the plague every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Same here.
Our giveaway winner. Drum roll, please. Sasha Kirkpatrick is our giveaway winner.
Hey.
Sasha says, "Hey guys, I found your show through following Ray Apollo, and I am enjoying the show. I am entering the Super Mario Maker 2 giveaway. I appreciate the opportunity to win, and hopefully I do. Thanks for being so entertaining." So
thank you for coming in and hanging out. Yeah.
Nice.
look at him getting his smooth jazz radio voice on.
Oh, that wasn't even a fraction of it. That was not the voice.
Yeah.
Ray
That was
Apollo
just his
after
warm-up.
dark on twitch.tv/Ray Apollo.
Oh, no.
You'll get a
Once 10
black
p.m.
screen
rolls around.
because you'll be asleep.
Once 10 p.m. rolls around.
Then he goes to bed. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. But congratulations, Sasha. You are the winner. You will be contacted shortly after this goes live on Tuesday with your code. Actually, you'll probably get it sometime today, Saturday. So,
Yeah, make some levels for me to rage at. That'd be great.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so now that that's out of the way, I kind of want to have this discussion on the NX show. You know, it's not going to be too serious, clearly, because I don't really want us to take this show like super seriously. It's for us to come here and have fun.
But
and
let's talk about it
games
though,
and,
like for real.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of feedback from people saying that they miss Nintendo Power Block and that they want Power Block to come back, which was for newer listeners, Nintendo Power Block was our Nintendo podcast that we used to do together, and Ray was on a couple times, and we also did an Xbox show called Arsenal X, and we pretty much due to a combination of things, including scheduling and time and all kinds of other factors that went into this decision, we decided to make a new show that kind of combined our love for all video games, and if we wanted to talk about other things as well, if people were watching Stranger Things season 3, we could talk about that, which I'm not. I'm not even watching. I hadn't even watched season 2 yet. But
please don't be upset with me. I've never seen a single episode of that show.
I'm with you, right? Okay.
How dare you?
Listen, I didn't make the time. All right.
It's not gonna be for everyone, just like anything.
So we decided to, bring Ray in because we liked the chemistry Ray had with us, and we decided to make a new show, and kind of merge those two ideas together. And we talked about it at length on the last couple episodes of Nintendo Power Block and why we were doing this, and on the last episode of Arsenal X, those are up on our website. You can check those out. But basically, our decision was this to make the NX show, and this is where we're at. And I understand some people are upset. They wanted a Nintendo podcast to listen to, and I can guarantee you, between the four of us, Nintendo will be probably talked about more than any other console on this show.
The most.
Yeah.
I have a Nintendo bias, and I'm not afraid to say it.
I think we kind of all do. But, we also want to talk about Gears 5 when it comes out. We also want to talk about Halo Infinite when it comes out. We also want to talk about Death Stranding, if some of us are playing that when it comes out, right? We want to talk about these other games that aren't necessarily coming to Nintendo, really. So that was our decision, and some people said some things that were, I don't know if hurtful is the right word, but kind of disappointing and kind of brought some things to light. I gave Ed some of the comments, and I know you guys talked a little bit about it last week before you recorded, but I mean, I love having Ray on the show. He's staying. Nobody really said get rid of Ray. I think a lot of people would rather get rid of me than Ray, but
that's not true. That's not true at all.
But this is our vision. This is what we want to do, and to talk about the things we love in one cohesive setting is kind of our goal here. And I'm sorry that you guys missed Nintendo Power Block. I really am. Ed and I have had an extensive discussion by ourselves about this because we started Power Block 3.5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that show was our baby, and we loved it. But as we grow as podcasters and content creators and streamers and stuff, we want to be able to talk about all things. And, we're going to talk a lot about Nintendo, obviously, still. And maybe someday if we become the internet's biggest sensation, we'll bring Nintendo Power Block back at some point as its own separate, smaller thing. But, we're focused on making the NX show the best podcast it can possibly be. And, we're gonna need your guys' enthusiasm for Nintendo Power Block to carry into this new thing, because we love our community. We have a great community. We always have questions. We always have a lot of Twitter interaction. We always have a lot of friendly faces. I've met some fans, right? Deshaun is a big fan of ours, right? I've met him, right? And he's a cool dude, and I enjoy seeing people interacting with our show and us in general, and we're gonna need that. And Jesse's gone. Bye, Jesse. Ray, it's your fault. You kicked him out.
I didn't do it.
It's the camera.
So I mean, what do you got? Do you guys have anything to say about this? I kind of feel like I'm just kind of rambling a little bit, but
Well, I think Power Block, like I said, Power Block will always be our baby, kind of our starting, just like for me and Corey, like how we really met, how we talked about our love, not only for video games, but, specifically for Nintendo. And we wanted to share that love with everybody. And I feel like with the NX show, that spirit is never going anywhere. That spirit is kind of going to be shared across multiple platforms because we are a group of people who just love video games in general. And we have some highs and lows, some opinions that we want to share with everybody. Nintendo's always going to be in pretty much every conversation because there's something that we can relate to that deals with not so much with Nintendo, but something that Nintendo has done in the past that might feel similar. We talked about it on Arsenal X sometimes. We talked it on guest podcasts and stuff. So the spirit of Power Block is never going anywhere. Not talking about Nintendo or focusing mainly on Nintendo, that's not going anywhere. Microsoft and Sony and PC are doing almost the same thing as Nintendo, which is bringing a lot of good stuff that we want to talk about and we want to express, whether it's good or bad. And if we just stick to one specific show, we don't have that freedom to talk about that. Some of the good stuff that happens with Sony, we're not able to talk about because we're stuck to Nintendo Power Block or Arsenal X. We could have expressed our love for Horizon Zero Dawn, even though Jesse might have not played it. I don't know if you played it, Ray, or anything. Yeah. I'm like, we could be talking about other stuff like that. We could be talking about themes and social issues that sometimes games bring instead of just focusing on a Nintendo platform. So I think with the NX show, like Ray said, he told us, like, you got to give stuff time. You got to let us grow. We're just beginning this. Like, this is something new for all of us, and we all come with a different viewpoint. But I feel like people just realize that, the spirit of Power Block is not going anywhere. We still got the same format, but we just have more freedom to talk about things.
Yeah, and, we got even when we were doing both shows, we got a lot of comments saying, like, why are you guys talking about Xbox games on your Nintendo show when we would talk about what we've been playing? And then on Arsenal X, some of our conversations gravitated naturally towards Nintendo stuff, and that was also a big part of the discussion of, do we just make the show as one show and start something fresh, right? And we take all of your comments, whether they're aimed at being either constructive or some people did send some mean-spirited ones in, but there's always some truth behind some of the mean-spirited stuff, I feel like, and we take all that to heart and consideration, and this is the show we want to do, right? And something, when Ed and I were doing Nintendo Power Block, we were talking about Wii U, right? And
yes,
some of those shows were a real struggle to put together sometimes, and look, Xbox and PlayStation, say we were going to do Arsenal X, right? Like, Xbox is going to go through a little bit of a slow period after Gears, it's the Sony and PlayStation side of thing are going to be kind of slow because they're gearing up for next gen, right? And it's going to be the same thing when whatever Nintendo decides to do next. We need to be able to shift our focus in different areas as well. So, it was a decision that we didn't make lightly, right? Like, you're going to always make somebody mad when you make this decision, and adding a crew member also is a big thing for us, and I think it's great. I think our dynamic is great. I think the show is going to take a couple more episodes to really get into a groove that fits us. But besides that, I think our show is great. I think our show is still going to be unique. I know some people showed some concern of being just another video game podcast where we talk about everything, but I think we have personalities that will shine through. Yeah, go ahead, Ed. Sorry.
Can I address that? Okay, so there was a comment about being a generic podcast, and my thing is this: with Index, it's not such a quote unquote generic podcast. We are on different platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, and we now are able to reach more listeners with various topics. There might be somebody who might not like hearing all about Nintendo. It might like to hear about some PC or anime stuff. Instead of having 16,000 shows catering to each thing, I think here on NX, we're able to deliver to that person, and we might get a follower. We might get a new viewer and stuff. We have a format that pretty much even a specific show, what we've been playing, news, sometimes a discussion or questions. That's kind of like a podcast, that could be said about anything. You can have a Pacific PlayStation, you can have Xbox, or anything like that. It's still the same kind of format. So, but sometimes we may not even do news. We may check out last week's episode. We had a discussion about mental health in video games. What podcast is talking about that? That's not something that a lot of people bring up in a podcast.
Yeah, and that's something I have been thinking about, I haven't really talked to you guys about it, but that's something else I was thinking about was like, do we even want to do like a news structure thing? Like, yeah, okay, if something is happening, like we'll talk about it, but do we want to have like a checklist of news items that we need to talk about, quote unquote, and maybe, sometimes we do if it's like a slow week or we don't have topics or whatever, but like Ed, from Pow Block and Jesse, from Pow Block and Arsenal X, we've had, how many we have listeners that send us questions that have nothing to do with video games sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think there's some today that, might not do with video. I think there's like one or two that don't really even have anything to do with video games. And it's like, we can do that,
I know I've been like real quiet about it for a minute. It's just I told you guys this when we were talking, privately, that I think it's amazing that there are fans that are so passionate that they are kind of reaching out with their concerns about what they might lose with change, because that's really what anybody's ever really worried about with change, is that they're going to lose something that they care about. And I kind of feel like an Ed hit it on the head when he said it in earlier. It's like, give it some time. It's not gonna be exactly what it was, mostly because there was a change. Yeah. You got to give it some time to turn into something, and put your faith in that it's going to be something that you still love. You just have to you have to be there and be patient for it. Patience is, what do they call it? It's a virtue, right? It's right. Important. Yeah. But not only that, I wasn't just some random person that these guys scooped up off the internet. I was a fan of these shows before. I've been listening to these shows. I've been listening to these guys, been interacting with these guys for years before they even decided to even remotely be like, hey, Ray's kind of cool. Let's have him do stuff with us. And I was honored, and I still am, honestly. And so I want my 2 cents is I want everybody to understand that with these guys combining this into one show, it also takes a lot of stress and strain off of them, because making these multiple shows takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of passion, which these guys are full of passion. But to be able to combine it and refine it into one show, I feel like gives us the opportunity to give you more of what you want. All you have to do is tell us what you want more of, I believe. Right. This isn't, we're not listening to you because else we wouldn't be talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I want the people listening to know that this is something that is going to grow and is going to change. But it's not just going to be it's just another show where dudes are talking about video games on the internet. No. You have some of the most diverse opinions on the internet right here with Corey, Jesse, Ed, myself. Legitimately, some of the most diverse opinions you'll find. Except on Nintendo, because we love Nintendo. But that's okay, because that's also, I feel like, a very rare thing to find on the internet. It's people who just praise Nintendo for doing the stuff that they do, but also call them out when they need to be called out. That's important. Mm-hmm. So I ask you to be patient. I thank you for allowing me to come into your time when you are listening to these people that you already loved, and let me be the strange uncle that comes in and then, it was like, hey, I'm here. I've been gone for 15 years, but I'm here. Just be patient and know that we love this, and we know that you love this, and we want to take as much care of it as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, like my my thought was like, you know, and not to be like to offend anyone, but I'm like, you know, like when we're kind of looking at some of the comments and people are like, you know, like this isn't what we want, and it's like, well, honestly, we're only on like episode 5. We don't even know what we want yet. You know, like we want this to be more focused around what you want. And the best way to do that, and that's why we're kind of trying to do this live now, is we want people in the chat. We want people to bring up what they're passionate about, and we can talk about things, you know, like you were saying, Corey, like I think that in time this show will probably be better if we do talk about like stuff in the news, but that's not really our main focus anymore so much as just like, you know, like what we enjoy and are enjoying as a community. Because like me, like I love Nintendo. I don't play it as much as the rest of you guys, because like my, you know, the Xbox is kind of my main console, but that's fine, because then I can kind of put input on the Xbox side, and, you know, and like, but I mean, I've been playing a lot of Switch lately because of Mario Maker. But like, I just feel like it's like, we're not like always playing whatever is popular at the time, like especially with Game Pass and stuff. There's a lot of games that have been out for years that I haven't played, but because they're in Game Pass, I'm able to give them a shot and see if it's something I like. So like, you know, we're gonna always have like stuff that we'll talk about that will be like probably not being talked by anyone like right now, because it's, you know, a lot of people will only stick to what's popular at the moment, and we still will, you know, at times, but you know, there's also a lot of other things that we'll be talking about that you probably won't be hearing anyone talking about anymore, because it's just kind of come and gone. And hopefully maybe we interest you in something that you've never played either, that's been out for a while. And you know, like we just want to talk about what we enjoy doing, and whether it's games, TV shows, you know, like, and whatever you're into, you know, like I said, like the main thing with this, like, is like, we want people to give us different, unique questions, you know, to talk, and things to talk about on the show, instead of just the same thing over and over and over again. And I feel like when we focus on only one console, that's a lot of the times what we've ended up having the issue with, is it seems like the questions have been the same like all the time, and it just never, you know, like we felt like we were answering the same thing over and over and over again. And so like, and I mean, I understand we'll still probably have that, because we'll have new listeners who haven't maybe listened to old shows, so they don't know that we've answered those things before, and that's fine. But like, we just want to have more conversation in general with, and you know, and talk more about things that the listeners would like us to talk about. And so, you know, and if that's what you want, and you feel like we're not talking about something that maybe you're interested in, well, then join us live, or, you know, send us an email, or you know, message us. There's, you know, plenty of places to do that, and you can definitely give us stuff, and we'll be more than happy to talk about those things. So you know, like that's really what our main focus with this was about, is like, we wanted to be able to talk about more things that our listeners are, you know, are interested in. So instead of just sticking to one thing. So
yeah, I mean, and you want this show to grow, right? You know, I mean, this is the way we're going to grow, is by being able to have more conversations about all of gaming, not just little tiny pieces. You know, and that's important.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff is changing in the culture of gaming, and there's just stuff that we need to sometimes discuss, and it's not all Nintendo. You know.
Yeah. So I mean that like we wanted to have this discussion on the show too, to like, you know, we don't want to be one of those shows that's like hiding what we're doing behind the scenes or anything. Like we want to have this discussion with you guys too. Like this was our decision. It wasn't made lightly, but we have a lot of interests outside of just Nintendo also. Like I know me and Ray specifically are big Destiny players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't talk about that on a Nintendo podcast, right? I mean, and you know, not that I'm going to sit here and talk about Destiny every night, but like right now.
I might though.
Yeah, I know. I might. But like I'm playing a lot of Destiny right now, right? That's what I've been playing all week because I've been hunting down some. I've been finishing some pursuits that I have lined up in my inventory because somebody didn't play for a while and they just kind of stack up. So
It's okay. It's all right.
plus I started that Titan life. So
Unfortunate.
best Titan's the best.
Wow,
But-
Shay.
You know when Gears 5 comes out, I'm sure.
We're gonna be on Gears 5.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know when Call of Duty comes out, I'm sure.
We're gonna be on Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's
On Luigi's Mansion.
yeah.
We're gonna be on Luigi's Mansion. Exactly.
So
All those.
So that's how we came to this decision. You know, we have 4 really big personalities that are into different things, and we want to showcase those personalities where they shine best, right? And you know, that's ultimately the decision we came to, and we want the NX show to grow and be successful and be what you guys expect. You know, with the heart of the show is not going away, right? We all have the passion and heart to podcast and create content on the internet. We just need to shuffle some things around and make this show, you know, have a cohesive, what do you call it? End game, I guess. Kind of like a nice
Roadmap.
yeah.
I say
Thank you.
flow. I always say flow.
Yeah, all those words. So that's, you know, we wanted to talk to you guys about that freely on the show, and so with zero transition whatsoever, we're gonna talk about what we've been playing because that's a good time. So
Video
Ray.
games. That's what we do, right?
Right.
Sure, some of us do. Ray, we're gonna start with you.
Oh, great.
What exciting things are you playing?
What exciting things am I playing right now? Well, I've been kind of in this weird rut. I guess I can't really call it a rut. It's more like this is transition time for video games because there's a bunch of games that I really want to play,
Like
that are
Marvel
just on
Ultimate
the horizon.
Alliance and Fire Emblem.
Exactly. I really want to play those games, and unfortunately, the stopgap for me was Mario Maker 2. I mean, I was not a Mario Maker 1 person. I was not. I'll be completely honest about that. I'm terrible at Mario games. If you've been watching the streams, you know. But I've been playing a lot of Super Mario Maker 2. I don't build levels. I just play them. Every night before bed, I play a little bit of Pokemon Black, which I am actually really enjoying. It was one that I and I've talked about it before already. I skipped it, and I wanted to go back to it, and I like it. I do. I really do. Wife and I have been playing, was it Super Mario Deluxe for the Switch? We both enjoyed that, and I'm terrible at that. And she secretly, well, last night, I might have thrown a total shell at her. Might have. But it was all in love. I love you, sweetheart. And
Lies.
beyond that,
I see this.
she will. She looks. And I think my main game has been still Divinity Original Sin 2. That game is long, and I'm at this point now where I'm kind of lost, and I'm like, oof, I could either like take a break from it and then be iffy about coming back to it, and I hate to do that, but it's also like I can keep playing and like get through and get to the next part.
To update Ray, I don't have to. I have the first one on Xbox.
Still a great game. Still a great game. So
I need to start playing that.
yeah, you'll be playing it for a while because I've been playing this game for I think
Have
at
you
least
met
100
Ed?
hours.
He'll beat it in a weekend.
Oh,
Pretty much.
I'm telling you though, these games are like when I say these games are long, I mean it. This game is long. So good luck. But no, I've been enjoying it. It's been a good time for me. So that's about it. I'm sure there's some other stuff I'm forgetting about. That means it's not important though. So yeah.
It's all important, Ray.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
My card games I play on my cell phone are very important.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Jesse, what are you playing? Because I know Ed's gonna take the longest.
I've been also playing a lot of Mario Maker 2. I did not play the first one as well. So yeah, I'm like, learning everything for the first time here, kind of, and it sounds like it's for the most part a good one to learn on, but like I know a lot of people are kind of saying that the one thing that the Wii U was the best at was Mario Maker. Just because of the whole tablet,
secretly Pikmin 3 was the best on Wii U.
Yeah,
because
the lies, the lies, the lies.
It's still the only reason to use a Wii remote nunchuck is Pikmin 3. Because
I haven't heard somebody say Wii nunchuck in a long time.
Hey man, it's the only way you could run and throw your Pikmin at the same time.
Very true.
Which, if you don't want to be eaten by one of them big red things with the googly eyes and the skinny chicken legs.
The big mushroom dude, looking dudes.
Yeah. I swear that game still looks so good.
It does.
It's the best looking fruit I've ever seen in a video game.
The next one, Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. Give me already. I want it now.
You know what? Look, in February, give me a Pikmin trilogy collection. And then in April, give me a Metroid Prime Trilogy collection. And then next fall, you can just set me up for Pikmin 4 and Metroid Prime something. Federation Force 2.
If they came out with a Pikmin trilogy, I'd go and I'd reserve my copy right away, instantly. The second
I'd buy that special edition Switch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wait for the Animal Crossing one.
Oh God. Oof, goodness, I'm not ready.
Nerds. Okay.
Get that Tom.
But
Nook,
go ahead.
The special edition Tom Nook doc.
Tom Nook.
Go ahead, Jesse. Let's get off this conversation. I can't.
But I wanna go live on an island. I don't want to go camping.
Fair enough.
All right. I tried picking Life is Strange, the season 1 back up again.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I don't know. Like I'm just not feeling the story. Like,
so
it's just not really doing it for me. But like, because see, the only reason I went to it is because I wanted to play it. I know it doesn't really have. I don't think it has a whole lot to do with season 2 or Life is Strange 2. But I just wanted to go back and just kind of experience it. But yeah, I think I'm kind of done with it because it's not that it's a bad game or anything. I think it's a really well done game, but it's just the story isn't really doing it for me. And the story for the second one is like basically like instantly it captured my imagination, and it might be partially because there are some things that I can relate to in the story that I've dealt with in the second one. So, but I like the story and what I've played in the second one. So I think I'm just gonna move on and go to the second one and just play what there is of that, because I don't think it's completely out yet, is it?
I don't think it's finished. No.
The
second season is not finished.
The second season, no. They got one more episode.
So yeah, I'll probably go and play what I have of that for now. And then as that comes out, I'll end up trying to finish that, because I'm really into the story in the second one. So, because I like, Ed and Corey kind of know like that I'm not really a big story person. Like when it comes to games, like there are certain games where I care about the story, like Final Fantasy VII, like I liked that game because I liked the story. But as far as like Final Fantasy games go in general, I'm not really like a fan. Like I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh, I got to play all of them. I liked 10 and 10-2. I liked the story in that. So I didn't play that, but I watched someone play through that at the time. someone I was dating or whatever. So, you know, like there's just certain things, like the story's really got to be interesting to me, or otherwise I won't really give it much of a try, because I just like the story either is good to me, or if it's not, it's just not important and I'm not gonna really care too much. So that's kind of what's happening with Life is Strange. The second one, again, I think I'll play that. And then another game that's kind of, again, something to do with story, that I loved the first Red Dead game a lot.
Me too, actually. I did.
I wanted to play the second one, and there are some things about the second one that I'm not enjoying, but at the same time, there's also a lot of things that I am enjoying. And so I'm kind of still trying to stick it out and just play it. And I think once I'm done with the story, like once I finish the game, that's probably going to be it, though. There's no need for me to play online or any of that stuff, because none of that stuff interests me. Like it's the same with Grand Theft Auto 5. I know like there was a lot of fun things to do online on Grand Theft Auto 5, but I just don't care enough about that stuff. So and even me being someone who mostly does, you know, multiplayer stuff, that stuff just didn't interest me. So I did, you know, pick Red Dead 2 up and try to progress, get a little more progress in that game. And you know, like I said, I'm enjoying it. There are things that I think they could have did better, but overall, I think the good outweighs the bad for me for right now. Anyways, I'm pretty early on in the story, so. And then I picked up Inside, since that was free with the Xbox.
Go.
And I am loving that game so much.
Oh man.
God, that game is so good.
That was one of the games that I can remember. Like, I don't do this very often anymore. Where I stayed up way past my bedtime, mind you, to play that game. That does not happen very often, but that was one that I did when it came out. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. I'm getting like the same like excitement and joy from playing it as I did when I played Rime, the game Rime all the way through. That's another really good game that I praise all the time, from the soundtrack being like my personal favorite soundtrack of like ever, to just the way that you do everything in that game without any kind of like, you know, voice or anything. It's all that game would not be as good had the music not set the mood for every single moment in that game. And I've praised, I forget what his name is right now, on Twitter. I've praised the composer a couple of times on how good his music is.
I follow him on Twitter. He won some awards too, and I think he got an award.
He won an award for the I believe for the soundtrack from that.
Yeah.
So like I'm loving Inside a lot. That was one of those games, you know, like many, where I've been wanting to play it like ever since it came out, and I just, you know, kept on trying to, you know, would buy like the newer stuff or whatever, and it just kind of kept on getting put to the side. And so I'm glad to finally be playing that, and I'm really enjoying it. So, and then I played some Apex Legends and Resident Evil 2 Remake. I think I might start another game again. I already beat it with both characters. Like basically right when it came out, that's all I did, is I just played it right through and beat it, because you know, Resident Evil, now this one is like my favorite game of all time, but the original Resident Evil 2 has always been like my favorite game of all time. And so now I was super satisfied with the way that they redid it, and I was completely blown away. I think they actually, you know, went above and beyond what I was expecting with that game. So So yeah, I kind of want to go back to it and play it some more because I just absolutely loved it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. So, I binged the whole entire season 3 of Stranger Things in one day.
Oh my god! And how many episodes is that?
8. It's 8 episodes, and I
Okay.
think each episode is an hour long.
Oh, so you
Or
spent
a
a
little
work day
bit, yeah.
watching. You spent a work day watching Stranger Things. That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, I watched.
I was
most
thinking
of
it was like 22
most of
episodes.
that.
And people
Oh,
were like,
no.
"Oh my god, I've binged the whole thing," and I'm like, "How?" And
No.
then, it's only 8. Y'all good? It's fine.
Yeah, I think usually they try to stick around 10, but I was kind of surprised that it was only 8 this season. But again, I think that's because they're not trying to stretch things out. They're just getting to the point. They're telling the story, and they're not just trying to put filler in there to have more episodes. Like unfortunately, a lot of TV series on the networks and stuff tend to do. Is just kind of stretch things out, just for the sake of, because they've got to fill time until, this and this season or whatever, till the next shows start.
Right.
So yeah, like it was a really solid season. Like I think is probably my favorite season so far, but no spoilers, but
I might start it
It's
one
great.
day. I might convince the wife to start it with me. We'll see how it goes.
yeah.
I'm good.
Nice. Is that it, Jesse? Is that all you've been
Yeah.
cranking
Yeah, that's
out?
pretty much it.
Nice. Ed, I guess we'll go to you. Everybody, if you need to pee, go now.
Hold on to
Wait.
your butts.
Why am I the one? I didn't even do nothing.
And then Ed says, "I've only been playing one game," and we all gasp.
All I've been playing is Mario Maker.
Well, I played Mario Maker on Switch. I'm building a level. Hopefully, I'll have that up so you guys can try it out.
It's so hard. Building levels is so hard.
It's very easy. I love the chemistry and the creativity.
No,
I get to be.
It's not that like building a level isn't hard. It's making a good, decent level with an idea and then going through and beating it is the difficult
Fair
part.
enough. I've played a lot of bad levels. A lot. So, yeah.
Well, can't wait for you guys to play mine.
Oh, I can't wait to play
It's-
yours either.
I
It's
can't.
going to
I
be
can't wait
fun.
to open the door to the left and end up at the end.
Wow. No, it would not be that kind of way. You're
That'd
gonna
be
have
awesome.
to work. You're gonna have to work to get to the ending with this one. So
Oh, so I
and
gotta
I'm
jump
gonna-
up high. I gotta jump on them cloud platforms to get through the door to get to the end. I'm just kidding. Continue it. Sorry.
Play some more Contra Collection, and more Phoenix Wright. First, I am getting ready for Ultimate Alliance 3, and Fire Emblem, because I think Ultimate Alliance 3 is this Friday.
Is it? Oh
It's
my
next,
god!
It's next Friday. It's
Oh
next Friday.
man, you got me real excited.
What
No.
comes out this?
I don't know what comes out this
No,
Friday.
because Fire Emblem comes out next week.
No, let's see. Ultimate Alliance is the 19th. Fire Emblem is the 26th. Wolfenstein is the 26th, and Mutant Year Zero is the 30th.
So nothing comes out on the. Is it the 13th?
12th. I don't think anything comes out for Switch unless it's like an indie game or something.
Yeah, unless it's an indie.
Okay.
By the way, Sea of Solitude just came out, and I need more people to talk about that. I need to play it.
You know what? The weird thing about Sea of Solitude, I didn't know that it came out. Like
I
they
didn't either. Like I was just looking.
I
at
just-
stuff.
Yeah,
see-
it kind of came out with just like a fart in the wind.
I need.
Right,
I need.
I
to
just
play
seen it on Twitter. I seen it on Twitter because they just celebrated their party, and the lady's like, "Oh yeah, Sea of Solitude's out." I'm like, okay, EA, like you're
Yeah,
not gonna,
right.
You're not gonna and that's the thing with EA originals or whatever. They never
gonna-
promote
we're
these indie games.
Exactly. Well, look at all these indie games we're doing. By the way, we're
They're
not
too-
going to tell you what's coming out.
They're too worried about giving you FIFA surprise mechanics.
Yikes! I watched that thing again the other. Wait, no, who was it? Jimquisition was talking about it, and he ripped
Yeah.
him a new one. Ooh, ooh.
Just starting with N.
Hey Ed,
Check out this.
to answer your question, sorry to interrupt. Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes out on Friday.
Yes. Another game that I'm going to skip for now.
I'm going to have to go pick that one up because I know I'm getting that. Fire Emblem's going to be mailed to me because it's a $100 collection, and I'm so excited for that. And then Ultimate Alliance 3, I'm going to get. Then it's just a cavalcade of games.
Kill la Kill If is coming out too, so yeah, gonna get that.
What is that one? Is that a fighter?
Yeah, it's a fighting game.
I haven't seen any kind of.
There will be a demo on PS4 out on the 8th if you want to try it.
All right, I think I'm going to download it. I'm going to see what it is because I haven't seen no screenshots or anything about it.
Oh, it's a beautiful game. It looks a lot like the anime, so it's going to be great.
Speaking of beautiful, did you see that Fire Emblem, each path takes at least 80 hours to complete?
I did see that. I'm so excited.
So there's 3 paths, and then there's a year of DLC planned.
I can't get through all of the. I still have Astral Change. Remnant from the Ashes, which is going to be crazy, Jesse, because both games come out on that day, so that's $120 gone. September is a crazy mess because they keep adding stuff. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, there's like 47 games coming out in September,
like
for Switch alone.
And then I'm waiting for Shantae 5. I hope they drop that soon because I can't wait to play that. Like, yeah, craziness.
Shantae and
but
Smash
that's what
confirmed.
I did. That's what I have done on Switch. For PS4, I started playing Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition. Really enjoying that, loving that game. I literally just installed all 3 of the Tomb Raider games on my Xbox One.
I need to play the newest one yet. I still haven't.
Shadow,
yeah, I need to play that. Yeah, that's the one.
Shadow was really good. To me, I think I like it because it was a shorter experience. To me, it was more calling back to the first game instead of Rise. Because like Rise had all these places where like, you had all these different environments and hub worlds and everything, and it's just like it was an awesome game. But like, I feel like Shadow really took it back to like isolation and have the single kind of island that you explore. Shadow was so good.
It's good, yeah.
Okay, good. That means I might start that soon.
Yeah, because
I might actually start that.
Because I need to get back to Monster Hunter for Xbox because I'm going to try to do the Iceborne one and get back to it on my PS4. I need to find my copy.
I need to download Monster Hunter on Xbox because I'm thinking like I want to start a whole new weapon, and I'm thinking if I do it, it might be better to do it on Xbox. So
yeah, I'm thinking
I might be there with you.
Okay. Played the Mega Man collection on PS4 because I'm playing Mega Man 4, which I think is an unbalanced game. It's not bad, but it's just like, this is not fun. This is not interesting at all.
You know what's funny, Ed? You said that to me, like in the chat, and you're like I'm playing Mega Man 4. It's unbalanced, and I almost commented back. I'm like, that's funny because everything you just said is like the complete opposite of what they were going for. You actually just described Mega Man 2 and 3. They were
LOL
changing directors in the middle of it. Mega Man 4 was actually like planned.
True. But 2 and 3, Mega Man 2 and 3 are probably like the highlights of the Mega Man series. I actually like 8. People don't like it. But I like 8. I thought 8 was really nice in its animation for that game, and 9 and 10 is good too. I need to work on 11 also. But that's what I played on PlayStation 4. And it's weird that you mentioned Inside, Jesse, and Rhyme, because I might end up having a discussion on games like that, like Rhyme, Inside, The Last Guardian. Just like there's something about silent type games that are more intriguing and more just for people who are not into like storytelling, visual storytelling. It might be their kind of game, and it's good because I have Inside on PS4 and I just downloaded it on Xbox One, but I haven't. I got to get past still like the beginning of it. I'm like, I'm still like in the beginning because I tried it out and then I started playing other stuff. So I would have to do that. Downloaded Detroit Become Human because it's the deluxe version.
So you get Heavy Rain too.
Oh, that's right. That's out
Yeah.
on PlayStation. I need to download that.
Yeah, but which is weird because I have Detroit Become Human on physical, and I downloaded and I got Heavy Rain because that was also a PlayStation Plus free game. So getting this deluxe game, if anyone don't have it, they get like the soundtrack, some extra stuff, and then you get Heavy Rain, which is another game that I want to play, that I want to get through. I beat Heavy Rain before, but I want to see how it looks on PS4. Rain, it just went live, I think, a couple of days ago. So yeah,
Okay.
you can go pick it up.
I mean, I'm gonna drop a real quick piece of honesty. I have been using my PlayStation 4 significantly less lately. Significantly less.
I think the last time I played my PlayStation was I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for it, and then I think actually I bought the Borderlands Game of the Year edition on PlayStation to play it with some people, and then they ended up not playing it. So
Don't you love when that happens?
Yeah, I have it on
Yeah,
PlayStation 4.
that's why I'm just
actually
like-
we did Pirate Play on it.
I know, and that was the last time I had my PlayStation 4 on. It was when we did that Spider-Man and Borderlands pod and play it. That was literally the last time my PlayStation was on. I mean, my PlayStation's not even hooked up right now. It's just kind of sitting there because
I mean, yeah, mine is hooked up, but it's just I don't know. All the games that I'm like mainly playing right now are on Xbox or they're on Game Pass.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
So, but like Neo, I still need to jump in and play. Like I'm trying to go through a lot. Like for my PlayStation, I've been trying to go through stuff alphabetically that I own. So I'm trying to work through all of that, and I will be jumping back into Ni no Kuni and Neo and Bloodborne and stuff like that. I will be jumping into that because I want to finish Call of Duty 3 Black Ops. So because I think I'm gonna pick up Modern Warfare. So I could play this campaign. I'm gonna see how the campaign is.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I've played some of the campaign for the Modern Warfare games, but I never did really finish them. I think I may have finished Modern Warfare 2's.
2's I finished, but I've never played like Modern Warfare 1. I never played, and 3, the Modern Warfare 3 one I never played.
I haven't played like almost any of the campaigns for any of them.
Well,
I've always been
like,
a multiplayer
Really?
person, but I want to go back and I do want to play the campaigns now.
Yeah,
I mean,
'Cause
they're good. I feel like
Yeah.
the early ones were worth it. They were good.
Yeah,
like I told you, Jesse. Like I did Advanced Warfare, and Advanced Warfare story campaign was really good. I feel like that's better than what Modern Warfare 2 campaign was. Like I had so much fun playing that game. So
yeah. For me, it's just like with the Advanced Warfare, I just didn't really care for the whole setting and everything. Like
That was the game
it's-
where I switched straight to multiplayer. I didn't play the single player.
Yeah.
All I was multiplayer on that one, and it was because the multiplayer on that one I thought was great. Everybody
Yeah,
else is
it was
boots
fun.
on the ground. I'm like, I don't care. You gave me a jetpack.
Yeah, I was the same way where I really didn't get upset with that as a lot of people did, but like I mean, mind you, they didn't do it as good as Titanfall did, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't awful. I enjoyed playing what I played of that for multiplayer of that game. You know, I for the most part have owned most of the Call of Duty games at some point in my life. Even like what is it? World at War. That was really interesting, having tanks and stuff like that, like vehicles and
that was one of my
in the
favorite
Call of Duty games.
It was one of my favorite. I remember
it was
when the
good.
beta came out for that. I was in high school, and I remember waking up early multiple days just to get in and play it before school.
Yeah.
Jason Marshall's in the chat, and he says, "I platinum Modern Warfare this morning."
Nice.
Oh, nice.
yes.
Nice.
Shout out to you, Jason. Yeah.
Shout out to
Which I gotta talk-
Nerds Gone Platinum, the Nerds Gone Rogue PlayStation podcast. You can download that on whatever something.
I gotta
All
hit-
the stuff. Just
I gotta hit
Yeah.
Jason up. I haven't talked to him in
Yeah.
a while. Love you, Jason.
All the
Shout out
shows
to you.
were there.
For Xbox, I have a weird glitch with Rage 2.
Rage 2.
What you played it?
About to say, yeah, it started.
Wow.
Rage is gonna make you rage.
For some unknown reason, my controller, like everything works, like to aim down and shoot and move and stuff. And then I fast traveled to another place because I was trying to get easier to this other area that I wanted to play through, and only could just walk. I couldn't shoot. I couldn't aim down. Like, I don't know what the world was going on, and I took the game out, put it back in, resetted my Xbox and everything, and it was still happening because I only got like 2 more levels that I need to do before I finish the game, and I'm just like, this is not good at all.
And I'm really sorry this happened to you. Somebody, I think it was, I was listening to What's Good Games. They said this the best. You know, they're like, why does Rage 2 exist when they do the shooting better in Doom and they do the car combat better in Just Cause 4? So why did they think that they needed to make this game? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who was asking for Rage 2. No.
Yeah.
I think it was by the looks of it, it was something that, you know, it was visually eye popping.
I think Avalanche wanted to make Mad Max 2, and Warner Brothers was like, no, and Bethesda's like, hey, we own this weird IP that nobody cares about. You can use it.
That makes sense.
Well,
And
yeah,
Mad
I
Max
think
is not good.
that's it. That's exactly it. I think it was they spent a bunch of money on stuff that they had plans for, and because they didn't want to just completely have it be wasted, I think is what the idea was. I mean, like it had promise and potential, but unfortunately they just fell flat with it. Like I've enjoyed a little, the little bit I've played, but at the same time it's nothing spectacular, and
It's not.
I've been having
I played
issues
about 5
too.
hours in Rage 2, and then I said I was
Yeah.
done. Like I hadn't played enough.
And I think that was the thing about it, that Rage 2 was a visual spectacle. Like it looked fun watching it, but then you get into your
Exactly.
hands and it was
You were
just
right.
like,
That is 100% right. It's like it
It
looks
was
fun from a distance.
It was the
Yeah.
typical trailer that makes a movie look better than it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually had some issues too, where like you go, like the whole thing is you're supposed to open up those things and you unlock new powers.
yeah.
Well, I did that with one of them, and then it spawns you in that room where you learn how to use it,
Yeah.
and it just did nothing. I was just standing in a room that was completely empty. Nothing was triggering like it was supposed to. Nothing would happen. So I had to download or like restart load my save, and then go back into it again, and then I was still having some kind of issue, and then I got it to work once I figured it out. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I was having some kind of glitches too when I was playing it recently, so I just kind of gave up on it.
Yeah, I think that game still needs some patches. So like I said, I installed Rise of the Tomb Raider and Tomb Raider Definitive for Xbox. And I haven't just been, because of the 2 terabyte one that I got, I have been installing some of the games that I took off to make space for other stuff. Now I'm putting them back in so I could put them on it. Because I just reinstalled Dead Rising 3 because I want to get through that one. I want to play that. And got to jump back into Sunset Overdrive. I've been wanting to finish in that.
Ooh, I love Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah. Played some of Vanquish. Was enjoying that, talking to Jesse. He was playing this game and I was trying to focus, and I was just like, dang, it's hard to play Vanquish and talk at the same time.
I was playing Inside while you were playing that. That was yeah, I was having the same issue too, because with the Inside I'm like trying to figure stuff out. Like,
yeah. So, but pretty much that's what I've been playing. And I'll probably be playing some new stuff next week for you guys. So yeah, that's what's been in my arsenal. That's what I've been playing.
See, that's why Ed went last. So I haven't been playing much, and I'll keep it quick because we have some questions to answer. But I've been playing some Destiny. Been trying all week to get Outbreak Prime, and it's just.
We gonna get it for you tonight.
I know we're gonna get it tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I forgot I played that too, but.
So we're gonna try to do that tonight. And then I've been trying to finish up some other pursuits. I finally finished a round of the Menagerie last night as well.
Oh, some menage. I
Yeah.
shouldn't call it that. Now I feel dirty. Whoops.
It's always
Yeah.
dirty.
Nope. I'm never saying that again.
Nope.
I'll say it for you. Don't care.
No, please don't.
I said I'll say it for you.
So I've been doing some quests for that, and I did something else last night too, but I forget. Oh well. I've been playing some Mario Maker 2. I'm trying to play through the story mode of that game, and
Mario Maker?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I got through the first like 3 parts, and I'm like, this is pointless. I'm not doing any more of this.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at this point, where I'm just like,
I'm liking it. I'm
don't-
getting
I don't-
into it.
I don't know. I know that, and this is no offense to anybody who loves Mario Maker. I'm just not a huge fan of Mario Maker. This is a really cool idea. I love that this is something that people can do. But it's like, as a game for me, I'm good.
So I've been trying to make my level on that, and it's just not going well because I find things and I'm just like, I don't like this now that I've done it, and I go back and I delete it, and then I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean,
also-
yeah. Mhm.
So
Good content though. LOL.
yeah, I mean it's great. It's a great game. Like I can't wait to play other people's levels. I don't know. I'm struggling with the building aspect of it. So
I too am a player and not a builder.
Well, and like I said, I'm learning everything because I never did play the first one, and like, you know, I tried to make some levels that are like challenging, but I'm finding it more fun to just make levels that are just, you know, like more on the unique side and just fun. Like that, like my one Grand Theft Auto like one or whatever it's called, Stuntman Run, where it's just basically you steal the car away from the turtle or whatever that's driving it. Yeah, and then you just drive it, basically just fast paced. You just speed right through it, and things are falling and blowing up, and you know, all this stuff's going around, and you just, like, if you hit it just right, your car will hit the top of the pole and you'll get a 1-up and slide down it. So, like, you know, it just all happens really quickly, but it's like fun because there's all these like visual, like, you know, like a scene in a movie almost, just like where you're kind of speeding to the end and things are falling around you.
I need to play that.
Blowing up, and yeah.
I need to play
So
it.
it's not hard. It's just fun. You know, it's just,
That's what I enjoy. I like
Yeah.
having fun.
yeah.
That's me.
yeah, fun.
Everybody would just be mad at me. when my level comes out.
Everybody's
Ed,
already.
I
mad at
want
you,
to
Ed.
torture you.
But I think everybody's
trust me,
gonna have a
Ed,
fair challenge.
I've played some that were just ridiculous.
Oh,
Like, it was
same.
just
Same.
So I've been playing a little bit of that. I also charged my 3DS for some reason, and
I've been playing my 3DS every night, so it's all good.
I played a little bit of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Oh,
I'm
that's what you
going
booted
back-
it up for, though? Okay.
No, I'm going back to like games I'm excited for. I want to play a little bit of the games that I'm excited for. The sequels coming out, so I want to go back and like play some of these older games, and then I've started a fresh save on Fire Emblem Birthright, and
Oh.
I'm like, do I really want to keep playing this with apparently 200 and something hours of 3 houses in
Right.
front of me?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, at that one, I'd be like, nope, I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah,
Nope.
so I did play a little bit of each of those. What else did I play? I played what else was I playing? I played some Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Oh yeah, my 3DS the first XL that I bought came with that game.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and
Yeah.
that game's all right. Those games are all right. You know.
So they're actually some of my favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Mario and Luigi games. Superstar Saga is, I still think, one of my favorite, like one of my most favorite games ever.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing. I'm just gonna keep it short so we can get to these questions because we've got quite the backlog of questions, if you will. We might not get to a lot of them.
Let's get them.
We might not get to all of them today, but if not, we'll just save them for next week. So, our first question comes from Deshaun Malone. He asks, how do you see the next generation of Nintendo? Do you think they'll stay with a Switch-like device, or do you think they will split them again? Also, what do you think of a Switch Pro? Nintendo's path moving forward is the most interesting to me personally.
I think Nintendo, like when they one story that just came out that they're going to try to always innovate with new controllers, and because they're going to try to innovate with new controllers, I think they're going to try to innovate with their systems, and the games that they'll be able to make with it.
Yeah, but I mean, innovating. Sorry to cut you off, Ed, but innovating a controller doesn't necessarily mean a new system, right? I mean, look at the Xbox Adaptive Controller. Or look at the Wii Remote versus the classic controller. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, mm-hmm. but it's just like we know that if Nintendo is bringing out a new controller for a system, we know a new system is going to follow. I just think that some of their stuff is designed around their controllers to fit the games that they want to do on it, and then everything else follows suit. Because if we have we always have a discussion about what's the best controller and everything. And most of the time, a lot of controllers that are on that list belongs to Nintendo, which belongs to a particular system that came out to it. Not saying that it's Microsoft, Sony.
Oh, you're talking about the N64 controller?
I mean,
that's on.
I mean, for some people, they feel like the N64 controller was because of the analog stick, the rumble pack. But then we also could mention like the Wavebird, the GameCube, and stuff like that. So I think they are going to still try to innovate and bring out new systems that Microsoft and Sony, I believe, don't know how to do. You can build upon power, which is fine, but it doesn't change the fact that you're innovating or making something that going to make Nintendo be like, you know what, they do got a nice controller, so let's steal their idea and make it ours. I don't think Nintendo's going to do anything like that. So I think in the future they're going to have some more innovative, futuristic systems that we're going to look forward to and going to be playing their games on there. As for the Switch Pro, if it happens or not, I really don't know. I think a lot of people will be happy about it. I think a lot of people will keep their original Switch and still buy the Switch Pro. You know, because why not have a backup system?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
I think if anything, I'm more looking forward to the mini, like where it's just got a decent D-pad on it and everything, and it's just all one piece. I'd rather kind of have that be my on the go Switch that's got like a longer battery and all that kind of stuff.
I'm very much with you on that, Jesse. Very much with you on that. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
And then, like for me, with like as far as the future goes, I think Ed, that they, like you were kind of talking about them innovating. I think as far as the controllers go, like I don't really see a whole lot of room for innovation. I think if anything, they're gonna be more about features, like innovating in that way. I don't know. Like it's hard to say, but I could see them. I know they kind of did it on the 3DS and stuff, but I could see them maybe eventually having some kind of like the what is it called, the not VR but the augmented augmented reality, like some kind of thing like that, like doing, like to innovate more on the features of what they're, like the Pokemon Go, type games. Like I could see them maybe trying to bring some of those kind of things into into other games. Like, because I feel like that's still pretty early on, and its lifespan is far. Like we've got like the Minecraft game that's coming out, and I know like the Harry Potter game has come out, and there's mixed feelings on that game. Like there's the Ghostbuster game, which I did try, and I didn't really get into it too much, even though I'm a big fan of Ghostbuster stuff. I at least tried it. It's fun, but it wasn't. I in general don't really play too many games on my phone, so like my phone's usually just used to listen to podcasts, to be honest.
And here I am with a whole second phone just dedicated to video games.
I downloaded that app on the computer where you can just basically play phone games on the computer.
Oh,
I forget what it's called.
I didn't know that was a thing. I should have guessed so.
It's basically an Android program. It just runs, like, you can download and play Android games right on your PC or whatever. Okay. I downloaded that a while ago, and I do stuff on there sometimes, but yeah, but I do think they are gonna stick to kind of the Switch style. I don't think they're gonna go back to console, really. Where it's just console anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna read this quote from Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa at a shareholder Q&A. He says, "We want the Nintendo Switch business to continue as long as possible. And to this end, we will not only release a continuous stream of exciting titles, but also work to enhance our digital content and network services like Nintendo Switch Online. By continuing to challenge the boundaries of what can be done with Nintendo Switch in different ways than the Wii, we hope to maintain sales over a long life cycle." So
yeah, that leads me into kind of some like the part where Deshaun's talking about the Switch Pro. I think that we're definitely getting a more powerful Switch, 100%. I don't think it'll be like this super powerful Switch that some people think, that goes along with the name of Pro. Right. No, but it will definitely be more powerful because we've seen it already. The Switch was taxed with Breath of the Wild. That was one of the launch games that we could see, like, basically it had been tapped out with its hardware. So,
and reading the interviews with Breath of the Wild for the Switch was just like that one just happened to get dropped on them. They had to, I think, 6 months to get that, 9 to 6 months to get that ready for Switch. So that's kind of like that separate didn't build something up for the ground.
And if you play it now with all the stability patches, like, it kind of evened out, but still, yeah, it's like Breath of the Wild. Like, I think the real challenge, like, Doom and Wolfenstein were challenges too. Like, I mean, they run great now on Switch because of the stability patches that they've released over time. But I mean, The Witcher is supposedly coming out in September.
I can't wait to see how bad that runs on the Switch.
Well, Ray, I'm going to be streaming it, so you can...
I can't wait to see how bad that is. I can't wait. Because not that I'm being negative about it, it's just that I know that game is such a humongous game. And for them to be like, hey, yeah, we made this run on the Switch. It doesn't run great, but it runs.
And there's no extra download. It's all on the cart. It's
that's gonna be bad, y'all.
Right, would it surprise you to be like, even though you have that viewpoint, I'm calling it just a viewpoint, not saying that you judging it or anything. With having that viewpoint, are you still excited that people are still willing to play it?
Am I excited that people are excited to play it? I mean, that's on you if you want to play the worst version of the game. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
But is it something to be like, wow, when we always talking about sometimes graphics and things like that don't always make a game, that people are willing to be like, okay, we know what this is, but we still get to experience this game. So
to put it out there plainly for you, it's not about the graphics. It's the actual function of the game. That game is not going to run well, and it takes away from the experience when a game doesn't run well. When a game is glitchy, when it's buggy, that doesn't add charm. There's sometimes when there's games with some jank, that's different. But a game I can't really completely say this because I haven't played it, I haven't seen it yet. But a game like this, running on the Nintendo Switch, and like Corey was just talking about with Doom and Wolfenstein, I just foresee this not running very well.
I think it's more of a visual, because from besides you, from a lot of people that I just see about it, that they're making fun of it, it's more of a visual thing than an actual getting their hands on and playing.
I mean, we know, and as you just said, graphics don't make a game. Like it's a component of a game.
To be fair, The Witcher didn't run well on a base Xbox One.
It did not, and it didn't run well on a base PS4. We know that, and it did to a point take me out of it. But when it worked really well, and I just don't foresee those parts that worked really well on the PlayStation and Xbox working as well on the Switch.
By the way, that Xbox One X patch on The Witcher looks real nice.
I bet it does. I bet it does. So I mean, that's why I really feel like we need a Switch Pro from Nintendo, something that can take these third-party games and allow them to at least run.
Mm-hmm.
This
is going to be the test, I think. Like,
I really think so too.
I think it's a battle between because it's a battle in the sense that comparing it to Xbox One and PS4, it's from the actual developers. And Switch are having people who port games doing it.
Yeah, but
instead of
we can't even directly compare that. We can't compare the Switch to PS4 and Xbox.
But we can't. The only reason why it's hard making that comparison is because CD Projekt Red themselves are not developing for the Switch. I think if we actually had the developers who made the original version of that game for other consoles to do it on another platform, that might be a different story to have.
I'll tell you right now, if Witcher 3 ran on an iPad, then I would be convinced that it would run on a Switch.
Here's the thing.
Oh, go ahead.
It's gonna in handheld mode. It's gonna run at 540p.
540p
at 30 frames a second, and on TV docked mode, it's gonna run at 720p, 30 frames a second. The textures will be dialed down. The thing is though, the PC, and I'm not trying to like defend the Switch version or anything. But the PC version can be toned down to like, I think they said something like 15 frames a second, but the game looks like a PlayStation 2 game. And I'm not expecting a PlayStation 2 game. I'm expecting like maybe something in the range of like
Sega Saturn. That's okay.
How Borderlands 2 scaled from PS3 to Vita,
which you know was terrible.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
It was bad.
But who did someone do the porting from the Vita version?
Iron Galaxy did it.
Yeah,
but
Iron
Galaxy has also had like 7 or 8 years of porting experience since then.
And I think that's what I think some people don't recognize. And I think that's why I said it's that comparison of having the originals doing it on one system and instead of them having it doing it on both systems, meaning that they did the Xbox One and PC and PS4. CD Projekt Red did.
Yeah, and
but I don't think the developers.
Saber Interactive is doing the Switch version, which
did
the last decent game I think I played from Saber was the Halo anniversary of Halo 1 for 360.
So can I want to say this. If the Switcher 3 port comes out and it's okay, great. I'm just saying that I hope that Nintendo sees this as the opportunity to say, okay, yes, we can make a more powerful Switch, so people who only own a Switch or only want to own a Switch can still have a really good experience with games like this.
I feel like if Witcher 3 was actually being done by CD Projekt Red, I think that would be a different story.
Maybe.
Because I don't think CD Projekt Red is getting their hands on development kits to actually make something ground up for Switch.
You got to look at their engineers though. Like they don't hire engineers for tablets and stuff, right? Like they hire engineers for top end, computing
PCs.
Equipment.
Yeah.
PC, yeah.
And
I think that's why I wonder, just with the conversation of it, sometimes I wish that the developers of the original version of that game, if they could get their hands on it, because I feel like sometimes you making a game for a Nintendo platform is going to be better experience for you to learn it. If you are an engineer or a designer, get your hands on all these platforms the most that you get, because it's going to be more educational for you. Whether it turns out good or bad, learn something. And I think as gamers, we don't take that into account.
Yeah, I feel that. But to answer the rest of Deshaun's question, for me at least, I agree with Corey that I think with the quote that you read, they're going to double down on Switch. As they should, because I feel like it is one of the most versatile machines we've gotten in gaming in a long time.
I think they're trying to aim for like a Game Boy style lifespan.
As they should, because it's the Switch is one of my favorite devices that I think I've ever bought.
It would
like
almost
up there with the Game Boy.
It would almost be dumb for them to like go back to splitting.
It really would.
Like,
it'd be so dumb.
Like
it's too profitable to not do it. Like,
right.
It's making everybody who puts stuff on there and Nintendo themselves money.
Exactly. And I feel like with the Switch Mini that we've rumored, even if the controls are fixed on it, that's great. Let's do that.
Can they call it a Switch Pocket? Can they call it a Switch Pocket?
That'd be cool. Although, can they still call it a Switch because the Joy-Cons don't come off?
Yes, because it can still be locked.
I don't know. We'll see. Because if it can't make my clicking noise,
what if
it don't make noise no more?
But what if it has its own like mini dock? It's just like a baby version of the dock.
Maybe. But the screen. Well, from the rumors, the leaks, the screen is bigger. The screen is bigger on the Switch Mini.
How does that even happen?
Exactly, I don't know, but like from the render that I saw, the screen is bigger. But this could all be fake. We still don't know.
Pretty much it is.
There's some pretty sexy renders on Nintendo Life, by the way.
As far like the one thing I was thinking though is I hope if they do make a more powerful Switch that they call it the Super Nintendo Switch.
The Super Switch.
My mom had a Super Switch when I was a kid. That thing hurt.
Oh, it'd probably be like Switch XL. Switch XL.
No, I want a Super Switch.
Corey, what's the next question?
Yeah.
I love you, Sean.
This comes from Sasha Kirkpatrick. She says, I'm sorry, I did not clarify your gender, so I apologize.
2019, Corey.
I know.
Come
I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, and yeah, as a straight white male, I'm gonna get ridiculed for that. Hey guys, I found you through Ray Apollo, and I love the show. I have a question for you all. What are your thoughts on Sony saying they are going to cater to their hardcore audience? Why are they taking such a different approach than Xbox? Thanks for taking my question. Also attached to my Mario Maker 2 entry. Congratulations, you won.
You won! You did it!
So,
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so it came out a couple days ago at this point where Sony kind of said they were going to double down on their hardcore audience, for their first-party stuff, and this is the first year they're not having some sort of indie game showcase. This is the first year they're not like really doing any third-party promotional type things. So, what do you guys think of Sony kind of taking a different approach to PlayStation 5?
I think they're trying to do it for guaranteed sales. They think that they're going to make more money and showcase units that if we reach the hardcore, and give them what they want, then they'll buy it. And that just show the public how great we are as a business. And to me personally, I think I think this kind of exclusion of trying to get everybody to play your games and systems and stuff is not good business.
My
last thing is that I don't think there's enough hardcore players to support Sony in the way that they are, regardless of what the numbers are. Because you're hardcore for when that game comes out, and then you move on to the next, and you don't talk about it. Your hardcore are going to be, they'll buy your game, and then all of those copies will end up at GameStop a month later.
My thing is like when they say they're going to try to get to the hardcore, it's like I wouldn't have said this like 3 days ago, but I was at GameStop the other day and some some kid and his dad were in there looking for PlayStation 3 games, and I was like, oh geez. So this kind of put this in a different perspective for me. Like, I think Sony is going to have a very, very difficult time moving people off the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, they are, because there was such the people latched on to the PS4, and yeah, it's going to be real hard to get them off.
So
this thing.
I think like in the short term, aiming at their hardcore, the hardest core, the hardcore,
the early adopters is what they probably should have said.
Yeah,
but you know,
you're right. That's what they should have said. But like, I think aiming at that audience first will get. I think they're counting on like word of mouth and then growing their audience from that hardcore group.
But like I said,
they're playing the long game is what it sounds like with this next one.
I think the only reason why PlayStation 4 got to what they got is because of Xbox mistake and how some gamers view Xbox. I really in this generation of what Microsoft was doing now, if they were doing that at the time that the system were released, I think PlayStation 4 and Xbox would be in the same boat. I think they would be.
I got 3 words for you: saving one Benjamin. Is how PlayStation got people to buy a PS4.
Thank
from
you,
the
Corey.
360.
That is the 100%.
I think people would have spent the money to have both systems.
No, they would not. No.
This is
Ed, I can't agree with you there, man.
Ed, you realize only like less than 20% of people own an Xbox and a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, that is true. But I just feel like at that time, I think if both of them, because they both came out at different times, I think if both were able to do almost the same thing, which I feel like they ended up doing anyway, if you're that kind of person that I'm like sometimes that person that can't tell the difference, I just feel like they both equal each other. They both got great games. They both got some good first party stuff. I just think that what the stuff happened with Microsoft out the gate with Xbox One helped propel Sony to sell 92 million, because you don't go from PlayStation 3 that people was calling different names and had that PSN outage and people just not liking Sony to now they kinging it as the savior of video games. That's from 92 million to what? 63 some million for PlayStation 3, I think, where 360 was kind of seen as the king and everything. And then I feel like Rose kind of switched with that. I just don't think that what Sony is doing is a smart move for them. Like, I don't think there's enough hardcore players out there to support Sony.
I mean, so this is kind of how I feel about Sony. Sony's in first place, and we've seen this first place Sony after PS2 going into PS3. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this is a smarter Sony, but their communication is still absolute booty cakes. Mm-hmm. Their communication is just bad. It has been for a while. They tried the communication thing for a while, and then it just didn't pan out. And I think they said, okay, well, it didn't work the first time, so we're not going to do it again. And they're just going to keep their cards really close to their chests. And then when little things like this come out, because things are so few and far between when they talk about stuff, it blows up and it doesn't look good because, I mean, they didn't say it well. You know what I'm saying? So with them appealing to the hardcore, I still don't like that term for video games. I can see them. That's them basically. I would hope what I would translate that to is we want to focus on the people who love our games. Mm-hmm. And we want to give them the best games that they could, possibly want to buy is what they want to focus on. And I'm hoping that's what that means with the PS5, meaning that and what Corey said, I still think is 100% true. It's going to be hard to get people off that PlayStation 4, and in order for you to do that,
especially if they're still releasing like their 2 biggest titles next year with Ghosts and Last of Us, like those are their 2 biggest titles, so and they're coming out.
Like they've got bigger games coming out that will hopefully entice those people to want to leave their PlayStation 4. But as you said, like you're going to want to make sure you can play everything that you hate on your PlayStation 4 and your PlayStation 5. If anything, God, all those controllers better work on the PS5. Oh my goodness, because Xbox already got that locked down. So they got some stuff.
Oh, sorry, Ray. I really want to see, because I'm not in the retail business, I really want to see how many hardcore players are going to buy PlayStation 5 versus parents buying it for their kids. It might not matter, but I'm like, if you're catering to hardcore, then there should be a huge ratio of hardcore players themselves out of their own pocket buying them systems and not having someone else buy it.
I mean, but that's usually what the case. That's what the case. I feel like that's what the focus is, Ed. Is the people who like me and like other people who are going to go out and buy these things when they come out because they give us a reason to, not just because it's the PS5. They're going to have to give me reasons to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the game that's going to get me to buy a PlayStation 5 is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Same.
The game that's going to get me to buy an Xbox Scarlet is Halo Infinite.
Exactly.
There.
Though, but the thing is, you got to remember though, that's such a minority. Like the fact that only about maybe 10%, 15% of their install base bought their biggest selling first party game.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing that people don't ever think about is they may have sold well, but when you look at the numbers of the copies of that game sold versus how many PlayStations have been bought, it's like 15%. It's not that much.
Yeah.
So if you want to get people to buy, I know. Raising it, but
and you got to factor in that Europe is one of their biggest sellers than America and Japan.
So
combined together.
Just looking at it, Horizon Zero Dawn sold over 10 million copies, and that was back in February. PlayStation 4 is over what?
I think they just said
over
90.
30 mil. Over 91 million units.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but 10 million is not a small number.
No.
If just those 10 million people bought the next
Yeah.
PlayStation, like right up front,
But that's kind of like worldwide.
But if they wanna keep that momentum, like you said, Ray, they're gonna have to make it where people want to get the new system to play their third party games. And they're going to want people to be able to get their new system and play their PS4 games on it. Or otherwise, that other percentage that exists is going to go wherever the better deal is.
Yeah.
And you see more and more people talking about getting Xbox Ones now because more and more things are coming out for Xbox to make it look more enticing. So if they keep on doing that moving forward,
Game Pass.
I think Xbox, what they focused on was their services, and that's what's making it more enticing now.
Yes.
So I prefer the Xbox ecosystem because of their services. That's it.
Yes.
And also factor in that PlayStation is probably one of the only ones who really could drop their first party games to a lower price. So if you have a lower price, that's going to entice the hardcore gamer to buy more of their products.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, do you think Sony is going to match Xbox with a Game Pass style thing for PS5?
No. No.
You don't think they're going to?
They probably should.
You don't think they're going to turn
PlayStation
PlayStation Now into their version of Game Pass?
I think they might. They might, and I only say might as because they have the library to do it. Imagine a PlayStation library with a Game Pass type deal. Oh my God. Yeah.
I still, and this is I'm probably gonna get blowback for this. Sony doesn't have a strong first party to have that with a lot of their titles.
What?
And
Ed doesn't like Sony's first party games.
So you don't like them? I see it.
No, I've always owned a PlayStation ever since the PlayStation 1. Trust me.
That doesn't mean that you like it.
There's a lot of Sony first party games I don't like.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that Sony does have Sony has a big huge library, but a lot, once again, in their library, how many games are we actually talking about? If you take out God of War just itself, how many people are talking about from PlayStation 1 to now about a lot of their first party games? Because when's the last time
I can find you a list.
Infamous, Resistance, Horizon, Killzone, Ape Escape.
But how many people are having those kind of discussions about those games?
I mean, a lot of people.
You know what I'm not buying Game Pass for? Xbox exclusives. I'm buying them for the third party games that they offer.
Right. But you just mentioned that of talking about Sony's first party series being in PlayStation Now.
It's a much stronger lineup than the
I personally just don't think that's.
I mean, if you line up their Metacritic score of like even the last like 10 first party exclusives, Sony's is way higher.
I mean, and that's not even what it's about, to be completely. I just feel like there's more variety.
Yeah.
So
variety I would disagree with because I think they're all third person action games. But
well, see, so when you talk about the type of game, yes, but when it comes to the stories, complete variety.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I was just talking about genre ish.
So well, see, I'm
not that I don't like third person action games.
I love third person action games. I love first person action games, but I feel like when it comes to stories, and I care a lot about story, Sony's got that on lock right now.
That's debatable too, but
it is debatable. But I'm gonna say right now, I'm right.
yeah, they definitely have the more, definitely a lot more story-driven games.
Yeah, the thing too though is like Sony has a lot of critically acclaimed games that I don't care for. Like The Last of Us is a series that I just don't.
I'm
have
not
any
gonna go there
interest
with you though. No, but I understand what you're saying.
I mean, like, for me, like The Last of Us. Whoa.
Exactly, Kat. Exactly.
For me, and we're gonna move on to the next question after this because we're running out of time. But something for me like The Last of Us, like I understand, like they want to have those moments that impact you and stuff. But like for me, there's enough stuff in my life that either has happened or whatever that's been impactful that I just want to play games to like not feel those moments. And the intro to The Last of Us, that first couple moments was like not something I really wanted to continue playing. And
that intro to it.
So like, I mean, and that's just like a personal thing. I know a lot of people love The Last of Us and everything. That series isn't really for me. I would rather play Horizon and God of War. Like God of War for me hit a lot of impactful notes for me, right? I think for me as somebody who has always enjoyed God of War, right? That change kind of threw me off a lot at the beginning, but like the story moments are what kind of kept me going, and like the impact of those moments, like that very first scene where like the funeral scene at the beginning where he's burning the body was like super impactful with the swelling music and it was just super like to me God of War is like probably the pinnacle of what Sony first party has to offer at this moment.
There were times with God of War that I want to throw my shoe at the game.
I want to throw my shoe at you, Ed. And I'm not even wearing any.
I mean, let's be real. As far as what Sony said, I feel like I said there was a much better way to phrase that.
Yes.
If they're going to compete with Xbox and Nintendo going forward, they're going to have to up their service game. They're going to have to fix PSN, and I am still on the train that they're going to need to give us a better controller.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. I think they need to offer an elite style controller that you could
from Sony.
Yeah.
I want a Sony branded from Sony. We built this controller for you controller.
When your best controller is by a third party.
Exactly. So Sony has a lot to do. I don't think going forward in these console generations you can get by just on games alone. You can't. And I think Microsoft kind of knew that up front, but they did it bass backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, they have some more room that they need to improve upon because, games are awesome, but now people just expect their devices to do more.
Yeah.
And that's how the Nintendo thing came up. Actually.
So, speaking of expecting your system to do more. Just kidding. That was a terrible transition.
I was about to say, wait.
Our next question comes from Megan Green. She says, she asks, what are some of your most anticipated games for the rest of the year? Go by system! ! So, Xbox. Gears.
Okay. Remnants from the Ashes.
Oh, that was that game that you sent the trailer in the chat at some point, Jesse, right? Yeah, that game looks great.
Yeah, Gears 5 is just too expected, so that's why I went in Remnant.
Sometimes the expected is good enough, Ed.
True. Very true.
Yeah, for me, for my Xbox, it would have to be. It's between those two. Like I'm looking forward to Remnants and Gears a lot. So.
Although Ghost Recon Breakpoint looks good too.
Yeah, that does look good too. Yeah, that looks interesting.
Ed, I'm gonna
as
need you to hold your groans and moans till after the podcast is over, please.
Because I'm going to end up buying that too.
Yeah, you will to play with us. Exactly. The way you should have played it the first time with your friends.
You can hear all of Ed's moans and groans after the end credits of the podcast.
Yeah, that'll be. I'll do a super cut.
Dude, if I did a supercut of Ed's moans and groans throughout the last like 3 or 4 years of podcasting, it would be like a 4-hour
garbage.
show. Yeah, garbage.
This game is questionable content. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh my god.
Question block content.
Oh, jeez.
I like that, Justin. Wait, what's yours?
Probably for Xbox, Gears 5, hands down.
Okay.
All right, PlayStation.
For me, Ghost of Tsushima if it comes out this year. But I doubt it.
Death Stranding. That's what I'm going with.
That Ape Escape remake that they're teasing.
Yeah, there you go.
No, actually,
Medieval.
not
No, you're
Dreams.
right, Ed. Not Ape Escape, Medieval.
There was I gotta find out the name, but it was a boy who gets bullied and he like starts doing art
Bully.
and
Concrete Genie.
Concrete Genie. That's the one that I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
For this year. Yeah.
For me, it's like I don't pay too much attention to like the only thing I kind of watch on is like the PSVR stuff. Like there's a couple of, I can't think of the names of some of them offhand right now, but there is a bunch of PSVR games that they showed during the PlayStation thing a while back that looked really good. I just can't think of them offhand right now, but there was some really good looking games.
I'm kind of having a debate because, and you guys might agree, Control.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking of getting it for one, but I don't know. One of them's up because it is multi-platform, and I am definitely looking forward to that.
Oh
game.
Man, Control looks so good.
Yeah, Control looks great.
I can't wait.
Everybody answered right.
Yes.
The final one is Switch and The Witcher. No, I'm just kidding.
That could be it. Hey, I'm not gonna judge you.
I mean, Fire Emblem and Link's Awakening are like the big two. I mean, I know that's kind of a generic answer because I've been a fan of both those series for a long time, but like, yeah, they're so good.
To me personally, still stay with my number one, Daemon X Machina.
Please story for me.
And Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
And Link's Awakening. Like,
this is hard. Like the Switch one is probably the hardest one for me because there's Link's Awakening, there's freaking Pokemon, there's Luigi's Mansion 3. But honestly, I think the one that I'm most excited for to like, given everything else, it's gonna sound weird, but Dragon Quest XI S.
Yeah.
I think is what I want the most on the Switch right now. Like everything else I want because I know it's guaranteed. But when they finally announced Dragon Quest XI for Switch, I was so excited because I want to play it so bad.
I know. That title though.
It's
Dragon Quest XI S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition.
Yeah, right.
You're not wrong. It's one of those guarantees must has. Like,
I need it.
You can't not.
I need it.
Yeah.
So I hope it comes out this year still. So
it's scheduled for September.
Is it set for September?
Yeah,
well,
it's the week after Link's Awakening.
Son of a. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's around the same time that it came, which is bonkers. The original version of PS4 came out in September at some time, and now they're doing it for Switch in the same month. That's
Yeah.
Crazy. They
Yeah.
and Ni no Kuni.
So-
Dang it.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni comes out the same day as Zelda, so
How? Ooh, how dare they?
I know.
What about God Eater 3?
I think that comes out the same day as Spyro. So, I mean, it's like Astral,
there's a lot
Astral
of
Chain
good-
is on August 30th, and then it's like,
Oh,
then
Astral
it's
Chain.
like,
That's actually my number 2. Astral Chain.
and then it's like
Yeah.
Spyro, The Witcher, Ni no Kuni. Dude, September is packed. And don't forget,
Spyro and
don't
The Witcher.
forget-
What a weird combination.
I know.
Pretty much everything.
Don't forget-
I wanna,
don't forget FIFA 20 and NBA 2K20.
shoot, I'm still looking forward to Panzer Dragoon. Landgrazer 1 and 2 that never came to America.
I feel Ray's
Grand
eyes
D-
burning a hole in my forehead.
What about
The
Bubsy
Grandia
Paws on
connection.
Fire?
Like, there's a lot coming out for Switch.
There's a
that-
lot, a ton. I'm so
Doom
like if anybody's
Eternal.
like, but there's no games on
Doom
Switch.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
That shoot, if they mention a Yoko Island Express 2, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Where's my Yokai Watch 4 in the West? Give it to me.
They
please.
gave
announced
a release
it.
date. They're giving a release date at AnimeCon or something.
They did already.
Oh yeah, that.
Woo!
Yeah, they said that the Western localization has already started.
Good, thank
So
God.
I think 2020 next year.
I want
We'll
it.
Let's see. If
Oh,
I
by
can
the way,
find it.
they also announced Digimon Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition for the Switch coming out
Yep,
here.
September
I don't know if it's
18th.
coming up. There you go. God, another
Did-
September game.
Did they just announce that today?
Yeah.
That was today.
All right. Here,
Yeah,
here
okay,
we
I
go.
didn't get to
Here we
see
go,
it.
Ray. You ready?
All right, go.
Level 5 announces Yokai Watch 4 Western release at the 2019 Anime Expo. They just announced that localization has begun, but no word on the Western release date.
Yeah.
That game looks so
Okay,
good.
that's
Just-
summer of next year.
yeah,
Yep.
that game looks so good. Just watching it, I'm like, dang, I need to play this.
I love Yokai Watch. It was a running joke on all the other shows I've done in the past, but I legitimately like Yokai Watch.
I haven't watched the cartoon, but I enjoyed the games on the 3DS. I've been having
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
I watched the show with my kids because they like it. They
I don't watch
watched
the
it.
show. I just play the games. But
Yeah.
I think
It's a
Jesse
good
just
game.
watches the show and makes his kid watch it with him, so he doesn't somebody if like a normal person.
There are
walks in,
plenty
they're
of shows that I do that with my kids, like the original Ghostbusters and
Hey,
Turtles
Naruto.
and all that. But that is one of them
Teenage
that I do
Mutant
not force
Ninja
them.
Turtles. Teenage
Uh,
Mutant.
All
Sorry.
right. So let's see. We are out of time. So Casey and Sam, we are going to get to your questions next week because I feel like they kind of deserve some time, attention to them.
Yes.
So we're going to wrap up. I want to thank everybody for watching the NX Show live on twitch.tv/the NX Show. Remember, you can also download it on Tuesdays on your podcast service of choice or streaming service or YouTube or our website, codenamenx.com.
Yes.
We're going to keep intros short this week because we should keep them short. So, Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me basically everywhere as Phantom NXS.
Nice. That was nice short. That was good short, Jesse. Ray, where can we find you?
My name's Ray Apollo. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube as Ray Apollo, no space.
Yeah.
Go
Nice.
watch them.
Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode and check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps.
Go
Nice.
listen to 'em.
You can find me at CorianHD713 on Twitter and CorianHD on Instagram and Twitch. You can also find me on Nerds Gone Rogue and a plethora of other content on the internet. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. Check out all of our content on codenamenx.com, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye now.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
Hey,
Yeah.
which is funny. You know Retronauts,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
They just did a podcast episode about Ninja Turtles from
Oh my
1989.
God. Oh
So they
my
talk about
God.
the NES. They talk about the cartoon, how this comic book started, the NES game, and the arcade game.
All
I
right.
might have to listen to that. What is it? What is it?
Retronauts.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta find. I need to cue that up. Because
Yeah.
I only listen to podcasts now when I'm either on the treadmill or when I'm doing my chores.
I was
I hear
Yeah.
I was really thinking about a Ninja Turtles game lately, and I want it based off that the 1990 movie. But
Corey,
like,
I still am coming. I still need to come down to your house, like to play that Turtles in Time after you showed that Super Nintendo cartridge. I was just like, I'm making plans.
hey man, that's the most used and abused Super Nintendo cartridge I own. It's actually probably the most used and abused cartridge I own. So
I need to fire up my Super Nintendo, make sure it still works. Geez, I need to sell this GameCube and buy a new one because it doesn't work as well as it should.
my GameCube works perfect. I just tested it out this weekend.
I wish mine worked perfectly, but it does not.
I need to see if
I showed Ed my GameCube stuff.
Oh yes, and I have died and been resurrected to die again, to be resurrected to die again.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
Again.
Right, Jesse. Right,
No,
right.
I've been cleaning out my parents' basement out of my a lot of my old stuff, and like a lot of old games for coming out. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, my whole Nintendo 64 collection, except for 5 games, which is a lot of N64 games. For some reason, that's the system I decided to buy every game for. I have all the original boxes and all the instruction manuals except for 5 games.
Yes.
I was very proud of
Man.
myself. There's 30 games.
But I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye, Ed. Have a great day.
Ray, we will have that conversation.
Hey guys, now that he's leaving, we can start the
Ed,
podcast.
you don't want to have that conversation, Ed. You
We
don't.
will.
You
I
don't.
do. I do.
I am relentless. If anything.
You don't know. Corey, can you tell him about me?
No, pass.
Wait, what? Huh?
Pass.
I am not going to be the
Ed,
white
you
creamy
need
center of
your
your
own
Oreo fight.
You need your own wiki. Your
Yeah,
own
you do
wiki.
need your own wiki, actually. Just so I can keep track.
Your own wiki
You should
and
actually do that. What would
and
your,
a manual,
What would your Wikipedia be like if you had to write one?
a user manual for Ed.
All right.
Also true. All right, Ed. Love you, bud. I'll see you later.
Bye, Ed.
Yeah, we'll talk with you later.
Oh, so
We can start the podcast now, guys.
I didn't see this just now, but GameSpot put out an article. Konami says unexpected PlayStation Plus change was Sony's decision.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. I still think that it's cool that they did that, but it also was terrible that they did that. Because when people complain about stuff on the internet, now that they can just complain and things will change, and it drives me nuts. But I think that they did it because they wanted to move that closer to the next PES release, which is in September. So we'll probably get PES again in like a few months, I think, for free with PlayStation Plus. So hopefully that's what that was. It's like, oh wait, this is too early. Let's wait until we get closer to that game coming out to build some hype for that. Then we'll put that out. Not because people hated it. Like, that's what I hope.
Seriously, I don't know why whenever someone leaves, it always kicks me out of Skype.
Welcome back, Jesse.
It makes you feel better. I didn't even notice you were gone.
Yikes.
Ooh.
What a nice young man.
What a nice man.
What a nice young man.
Nice man.